Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is ExperiencePoints, and we are back with another Black Turn campaign. Well, it's actually in the campaign, but it's a scenario outside of it, which you have to access through the scenario menu, and it is called the January Offensive. It allows you to play as the Soviets, just like in the Red Turn. You get to play as the Axis into special scenario DLC missions. And here we are, the January Offensive. This is something that was just completed, and I wanted to show you how it was done. So what we're going to do is go back to the start, have a look at the map, and then show you what it is. Now this mission is long, and it's going to take a while. So maybe the equivalent of the Tarfin, where you're actually taking Moscow mission. As you see, one supply point, you're going to put all your supply power or the ability to extend your supply source range by 1 into here, obviously, and everything runs through Moscow. The enemy has a weird supply point here for some reason, 2 on the south road, 1 on the west, actually 2 on the west and 1 on the northwest up there. The strategy is cut off their supply, and that's how we're going to win this. Your objectives, or you have almost, let's say all 9s, but that's not true. You have a turn 3 over here, 2 9s up in the north there, and a 10 in the center, and 1 9 in the south. So we're going to get to it and show you how it's done. What I'm trying to do over here is swing around and capture their supply, but they do get reinforced over here, so it's important to know. Next thing, I want to put my artillery specialist step next to the objective so I can get the most punch. Important thing with this mission, you don't have the numbers to throw men away. You are going to come out on top barely. As you see here, I'm trying to line up my infantry because I can't kill these units if they're entrenched. I will do no damage and be completely repelled even with artillery. So be very careful about what you attack and where. Over here I'm trying to destroy this unit next turn. Up here I want to destroy this unit so that I can make my way down and cut off these units here. This entire gameplay is about cutting off and holding, and your horsemen are your key to victory here. Okay, so what we're going to do is all these units over here are going to be shifted down. We're going to head towards the south east over here. And we are going to jump around a bit for this as well. You've got to be careful to keep a lot of strength here, because I've had this where I've had them out of supply and they've pushed through anyway, and like just on their final attack, and they've taken my supply point and I couldn't get it back, had to restart. So keep a very strong line here, all through here, because these guys love to find breaches and make a runner. Okay, so there we go. Now this is okay because the forest takes out a lot and I have zone of control, so they're not going to be able to make much of a gains here. Reinforce units to have specialist steps because they're the ones you need for a punch. Okay, down here I'm going to attempt to get their supply point, which is just here. So what we're going to do is destroy this unit and then put units here and here with our artillery next to the supply point. We want to put pressure up. Over here we need to get our units far down, so take your infantry to get past their zone of control, then push. Particularly with your horse unit, you want this supply point here. The other thing to note, I'm going to pause it here just to explain this. There are 2 roads in. You either need to clear out this, or eventually you need to clear out this section, and this is not possible to do because of how well they are entrenched until you cut off their supply. But you can make slight grounds to take out a unit here and there where they aren't in a forest. Also make sure you keep your line absolutely secure, or you will just get pushed through and they will try to cut off. And if they cut off one road, your entire supply for the north or the south is just gone. Also don't take chances with your Soviet motorized. They're not good units at all, and you have to be really careful. For example, here I could have attacked again, I wasn't going to. Over here I want my horsemen to make a break. The goal is cut off here, I cut off all this. Their entire army group center falls if I take a point here, and that's the goal. Okay, so now they're going to do a lot of movement, and we're just going to let this go through. This mission this was my second attempt at it. So I found the strategy, which was tried and true in the Stalingrad Soviet campaign, really rings true here. Cut off supply, slowly turtle forward, and just crush. And that's what you gotta do here. You can't afford to throw units away. You just don't have the manpower. Continually, you will get at least 6 unit parts that you can reinforce, and everything here, except 1 unit, which is just a pathetically weak tank, can be reinforced. So you're always looking to reinforce your strongest units as well. You will notice I'm gonna have a lot of units come out of supply, particularly horsemen, but their job is to get so far in the back lines that they can only be touched by oh, I remember that mission, the Smolskin, by these German security forces, and they generally won't attack outright, or if they do attack you, they won't destroy your unit. So sometimes you're playing cat and mouse, but you need to take the chance. It's the only way I can see this mission being winnable. Okay, now you may notice it was kind of strange that the objectives over here, there's a 9 back here and this is a 10. Your forces from the north here are all going to be instrumental in actually bringing down this. It is funny, it feels like if I was playing the Axis on this, I could crush the enemy forces probably within 5 turns. But certainly here, you have to have the mind of an AI, you know, or better than an AI I should say, to really win this. So as you see, important thing to note just down here. 3 things just happened. I took their 2 supply points. I took the objective as well, which was brilliant. They should have held that because they could have, well, they could have. So I held this in order to keep them resupplied. But you will notice I took their supply point here. This supply point, range 1, the road's been cut, so they can't be supplied here. So effectively means right now I've cut off all these people from being resupplied. 3 turns later, I'm going to be able to crush them. I don't want to do something silly like, you know, let them scout up here. You will also notice that this supply lines are important, so if you can push through, you can reinforce these guys here. And it's funny to know, when you're playing the Toughen mission, you don't have this bridge here. So that was different. Okay, here I'm not attacking anything in particular, I just want to attack what I can get a free shot at and be careful at. Here I'm even pulling back and just trying to keep my supply line going. I don't want them to rush here and then cut me off. At the moment I can't afford to take supply losses. Now, here I'm trying to get up here, because if I cut off here, and because I've cut off here, I will cut off entire army group center. They might not let me do that, but if I can at least pull back here, we'll see what happens. It's most likely that this unit over here is going to go through this bridge here. Over here again, very careful in choosing what I'm doing and where I'm attacking. I can't afford heavy losses without purpose. So that was an okay, a 1 for 1, because that armor unit's pretty intense at 8-4 there. And I'm keeping really strong units here, because if they break through, you're having to restart. You're in a lot of trouble. So, really strong units. Also noting that they don't really have the numbers to bring down this unit, or they would just do that and then come through here. So a unit here as well just gives a little bit more incentive for them not to attempt to break through. As you see here, I'm trying to take full advantage. All these units I shuffle down here, I'm trying to now feed into here to really stop these guys from being supplied. I want these guys out of supply. Over here, my artillery units that in the previous turn I moved next to them are going to play a massive key in actually cutting off these guys, because what we're going to do here is make our way down to this river and cut off this road. The objective here, we had taken turn 3, we can now use artillery to get in there and take the objective 1 turn early. We're going to put a really strong unit in there because we don't want them to have the SS motorized with the 7.5 attack and defense points to get in there. Other important thing to note, I moved this unit over here. Now, good strategy is to take this, because then again you will cut off all these units up here, and you can see that the strategy is the same everywhere. Find the supply point, cut them off. So we're going to attempt to take them here, and a lot of reinforcements will come in here, reinforcements will come in here, reinforcements will come in here. So you are fighting an uphill battle. Yep, there you go, as I speak. Oh, and reinforcements at the back That's southern objective as well. So if we do have a look at their supply, which we can do in replay mode, you will see they are in significant trouble in the south, but they're okay everywhere else except over here. So our goal is to make them not okay. I'm quite glad in other in other mission playthroughs, they've pushed all their armor back and just encircled the city. So it's kind of nice that, okay, while they are pushing their armor up here, which makes it impossible now to go after this supply point, they're not just grouping their armor and having grouping their armor and having two distinctive lines of defense. It looks like they really want to keep their entire front secure. Okay. So as we go up and down the map like a yo-yo, they try to do their own version of encirclement, like up here, as you see, but that is no worry at all. Okay. It's nice, we haven't got any real issues over here. As you see, they probably, if they had the opportunity, they would like to come through and break through. So yeah, breakthroughs are very real in any section over here, and these horsemen here are a concern. So one strong consecutive line. You don't have really the chance to make many mistakes in this mission, and you absolutely have to capitalize on the AI's mistakes. Okay, that was, I guess, an okay exchange. This unit up in the north here is just going to have to be retreated because I can't get the supply point, but by retreating him I'm going to pull those units away. Okay, so it looks like back to the yo-yoing. Oh, we have control again, very nice. So, here, 2 points to note, they should have moved this unit over here and they didn't. Oh. And I would like to point out that as I said, I went over this bridge. I still couldn't cut off their supply, unfortunately, but we'll do that next turn. But I did cut off supply here for these troopers in here. Okay, now we're going to attempt to push up. Again, we want to reconnect our troops, but luckily, or quite fortunately I should say, they can't attack me in this southern region. Okay, so get rid of some threats that we have. Going to clean up this unit so that it's okay, our supply source is okay and they can't take Moscow. Might be a little bit heavy, but we definitely will put our units like this, which are quite valuable because they're specialist step, out of harm's way. Again, only this unit can attack next turn anyway, so I'm okay with that. So no needless wastage of units here, and wastage of life. Okay, it's good, we've got a free Hero Panzer, and there we go. This unit I was able to drive south, and now these guys definitely cut off. There's no chance of their supply coming down this way. Up here, I want to reconnect my supply. It's very important that I do that. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to cut off the supply point again. So as you see, now these guys are gone. Keeping a unit next to here because we don't want him to sneak up here and cut off my own supply. And then, from previous times I've played this game, like months ago, you absolutely have to start driving towards here with these units. This guy's going to be a bit of a pain, but if we can weaken him up enough, and also put a, because this guy was so weakened, I want to put a barrier between the enemy and myself. He can't attack, which is great, but these guys can, and at least with this guy here, it's a problem for them. They can't just have free reign. Okay, so just going to have a look at that supply. As you can see, in the south and east, they are now in a lot of trouble. Up in the central part here, next to this objective, they're in trouble, but they're still okay up here because of their supply point. So we will let them respond. They won't retreat back, which is kind of surprising. at least their army group center won't retreat back. These guys will pretty much entrench themselves, or remain if they are entrenched. Okay, but you can see the strategy is working quite nicely. We only have to survive this turn before the entire south and the entire eastern army groups are completely defenseless and are unable to do any sort of offense. So unfortunately, we lost our guy up in the north there. Right here, I just want to hold. I'm using the water to my advantage. I like the different type of tank, the slug. So yes, very much holding my lines if I'm cutting them off, and looking to capitalize. So here we go. We are weak in these units, but we've done a great job at keeping them out of supply. Right now we want to reconnect our supply points because we are being supplied across the river, as you can see. So it's time to reconnect. And of course I'm going to leave a unit here because I don't want to have these guys just running and take it, the objective. That would be painful. Okay, if we get rid of the threat over here, we'll be able to actually reinforce my guys over here by connecting the supply point. Again, I'm not going to move any of my troopers off the enemy supply point, and I'm going to make sure they're just not going to scoot up to the north there. Okay. Again, I probably could have waited a turn. There's not much I can really do except util movements forward, but I do want to make a push where I can. It's about feeling out the best tactics, you know, where am I going to take losses, but I'm going to inflict a greater gain by moving towards my objective. Okay, so really getting our mechanized in there. We're okay because they can't attack, but I want to clear out this fella because he could just come across the river there. Okay, as you see, we've still got one solid line, which is quite nice. And now we want to supply our troops that are in here by cleaning up this road. Again, I'm not going to... a tactic that I would probably do in the past is to reorganize these troopers, but I'm not going to do that. Every trooper is very valuable here, just for holding purposes. So do take note to not uselessly disband. So yeah. Okay, clearing across to the river. And here we go. Okay, so here we connect our troopers up. Should be quite nice there. I'm keeping one unit here to keep the zone of control. And I'm building a bridge for supply purposes. As you can see, here's a 9 and it goes to a 4 because of all this swamp and forestry. So here we're just gonna 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and brilliant. Or at least a 1 to here. Okay, clean up some of the units in the north flank there. And no real problem there. Quite nice. Clean up German security. Okay, reinforce our units. I feel in the north they certainly needed that. And we're going to try again with this unit to try to take their supply source. Okay, so here we go. They're being a bit nasty. As you see, they can resupply themselves, which doesn't even make sense how that's possible without actually being in supply. But again, severely cut off now. We have absolutely nothing to worry about, and in the turn after next, they're going to be completely desupplied. So our horsemen would have been fine if we didn't have that reinforced unit come in. 246 ID German infantry. Okay. As you see, we took a 2-unit part hit, but no worry at all. I'm not stressed. The thing I do not want to do is lose all my effort, so I'm going to be very careful here. In the south about keeping a unit blocking the supply. Yep, just going for the supply north here with these units. And and now making a real good push to go into the south there. Reorganizing that weak unit and definitely making sure I've got someone on the objective. Okay, right now we're going to try to make a dive to cut off this unit, or at least cross over and take the supply point over here. Since these units over here can be better supplied, as you can see, we are going to make sure that that supply line is nice and secure. Because they've units being completely out of supply for over 3 turns, I'm only going to get 2 or 3 unit parts resupplied per turn. So it will be okay to take by objective, the objective by turn 9, as this one needs to be, but I do need to make sure that I don't lose that supply at any time. Okay, and I can resupply there anywhere of any of these units. You can resupply this unit, say in the next turn, and add more units to it to reinforce it, but it still won't actually have those units reinforced. It still takes 2 turn parts to get back to full strength. So you need a clean up here in the rear. I'm going to put my best foot forward for the next turn, and I'm going to put the artillery specialist step over on these units over here. Okay, pushing through the center. Should be no real problem. We can push forward and encircle. Okay. Again, just to make a special note over here, I pushed this unit down here to keep on the road so they couldn't just reconnect and take away all my hard work. And this unit is going straight for their supply source, and he can't catch me now. He can only move 3, and I can move 5. So they're about to be in a lot more trouble. Though I think now really it is game over for these units. It's a crab shoot, or I should say shooting a fish in a barrel with a shotgun, and it's a small barrel. So yeah, no needless wastage. I mean, I could have waited another turn and that guy would have been completely easy to push over, but sometimes I just attack things. Okay, got him, pushing up. As you see, the German units are quite tough, even with their complete suppression and their barrier supply. Like, he took out 3 unit parts and he only had 1 part that was free. Like, he took out 2 and he only had 1 part that was supplied. It's amazing how strong these German units are. That's why you have to play a completely different tactic. I mean, the Soviets only really matched German tactics in like the later missions of the Red Term, but the infantry were always dramatically weaker. Oh yeah, I did make a mistake over here by taking an infantry unit off the supply point. I don't think they could have recaptured it, which is why I did it, but it wasn't the smartest thing to do. Now, once I clean up the southern units, I'm just going to push everything towards that central objective. Because there's no point for these units just to be down here. Move them up here. Get some use out of them. Okay, clean up the units in the back, then we can reorganize these troopers. What do we have? Completely suppressed across the board, except for this fella. It's quite wunderbar. As you see, he only did 3 unit parts there, and he did retreat and took it back, but luckily he didn't get rid of all this. And it wouldn't have even mattered, because even if he did, this unit's taken that in the next turn. Okay, they've left the supply point over here completely open, so we're going to cross the river and take that the turn after next. Or the turn after next. Yeah, as you see, so close. Then these units aren't going to be effective, really, because they can't make it in time. It's now going to be about these units here, which came from here. Okay, this is just really a cleanup operation. Surprisingly, you can't do as much damage as you would like to do, but you can make sure your supplies are nice and secure there. Okay, we can move forward carefully because I don't want to have these units annihilated, and definitely want artillery to dislodge this German security. Poletsky elements. I am reinforcing every possible unit I can over here, because at this point I had like 26 or something reinforcement points. In this mission you actually can get 6 infantry units per turn, as opposed to just 5 to reinforce, which is quite nice. Okay, we do eventually need to reconnect this road, and that won't be too difficult. It looks like units that are in the city take a little bit longer to completely suppress, but no worries there, it's inevitable now. And we're just cleaning up. It's kind of funny, you can attack a fully stacked unit and just annihilate it like that. Here's our horseman, going to play a nice little part. I could have dedicated the horseman up this way and made it go at this, but I felt like I was pretty secure and able to take over here. Okay. It's pretty fortunate in this mission I've never seen the weather go bad, so you don't have to really take that into consideration. Because if your horsemen couldn't move freely, then you just couldn't win this. Okay. We're in encirclement and destroy. I don't believe this mission actually had prestige available to you, so if you're going to win this, you're going to have to do a prestigeless use victory. Either way. Okay, as you see, we're in good supply because of that 17 from Moscow. You can either reorganize your troops or just bring them from the south, or clear out some more area for yourself. If you don't want the enemy to really have zones of control everywhere, it's highly unlikely you can actually resupply these troopers either way. And as you see, I got my supply. I got their supply cut off here. This troop is going to make his way up this way. Okay, reinforce certain units. Again, there's nothing they can really do. That was unfortunate in that battle over there, but never mind. Here we go, bringing our units to the south. Now they only have 1 active supply point, and we're just gonna make sure this guy isn't a threat. They only have an 8 range here, so not much left to them. Bringing up my units, so everyone's going to be nice and supplied for the next turn, which will be great. And when we clean out this objective, we're going to have a clear supply line in. And we capture the objective, and as you see, very nice. Might have been better if I used this unit to advance this way and probably attack with that one. Okay. Resupplying anything that's close to the front there. Given that I need to take this on turn 10, I'm not really threading about anything. I can just take my time. Hit the objective as I feel like it. Oh, that was interesting. He repelled my attack. Only destroyed a unit part. Oh, there's the objective. Easy peasy. The only real threat is this one unit here. But he's not a threat, he's more of a nuisance. And again, I could reorganize all these troopers. I don't know how much use it would be. I can only resupply in the next turn, or perhaps the one after. No, only in the next turn, and then that's it. My goal here was to try to destroy this unit so these guys would have free movement. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to achieve that. He just wanted to hang on. There we go. But yes, he wasn't really going to make it. From here out, it's just leave these other units in the field and at the back and just continue on. neat battlefield, reorganizing all the troops. Okay, I'm retreating him back because otherwise he'd be destroyed. I build the bridge here because I do want to make sure that I can reinforce these units at will. Okay, and I'm reinforcing anything at the front that I can reinforce. So I was a bit worried there, a bit tongue-tied, because I thought he would cut off the supply for these guys, and luckily, if we have a look, he was still supplied. So that was quite fortunate. Okay, so next turn we have to take this objective. So here we're going to clean up this, because we can. And then we'll most likely clean up these guys as well. And 3 little soldier boys. Now I'm not going to bother moving anything that isn't valuable. I will attack where I can because I want to weaken him where possible, though maybe it would have been better just to have moved him next to the objective so I had more punch at taking it. But he was a threat and I did want to get rid of him. So I believed it was important to do so. Next, set my arm. So I have 2 artillery pieces next to the objective. It's quite nice. I got to be careful of my supply. Unfortunately, I can't put anything here, but these units can attack next turn no matter what. Okay, get rid of that last guy in the north. These units here are just a waste of time, and he's still reinforced. As you see, unfortunately and strangely, that happened, which didn't make any sense of why that hexagon should have been captured. So these guys weren't necessarily reinforced as much as they should have been. Or at least these weren't, which is a shame. Now, first one got a suppression. I suppressed his second unit part. I suppressed his third unit part. I destroyed one. Now I've only got 3 units left that can attack. Sorry, there you go. Now I took the objective. Whew, that was intense. So, quick refresh as we do. You want to have your unit up here, attempt to take this supply point. Have your artillery units get adjacent to the objective and smash it. Artillery units artillery units kill this, get next to this unit, smash it, come down here, cut off supply. You may want to build a bridge over here so that you can be reinforced. Over here you want to destroy this unit, bring your horsemen to come down here, and sort of shuffle these units along so that you can feed down here. Pick your targets carefully here, but don't waste units, and always keep a solid line all down your line. Over here you're looking to just try to clean your road where you can, but don't attack units that are in the forest. You'll never break them. Your horsemen, using infantry to negate zone of control, your horsemen are screaming up this way and screaming over this way. And then you want to eventually progress one of them to over here, keeping them out of supply. Over here, you want to destroy this unit and then make attempts to take the supply point here. And down here, use your infantry to negate their zone of control. As you see, these parts here. Then bring your horsemen to and your infantry to come down here and then cut off supply, and in that way you systematically take the units out of supply and you can push from there. Well, this has been fun. This has been Experience Points. I hope you've gained some experience in watching this and that you have happy hunting for your own brilliant victory. Ta-ra!